What's up, folks? How you doing? How you doing? So, I'm gonna tell you how I manifested $10,000. I'm gonna also tell you how to attract money and how easy it is to attract money. Cause I know the reason why you're watching this video is because you want to attract more money. Well, I'm just gonna go ahead and tell you, you're gonna get that money that you want to attract. I know you're like hungry for some money or whatever. You're just going through the phases. Oh man, this ain't happening for me. That ain't happening for me. I can't do this. I can't do that. You just probably in one of those states of despair where it's like you don't even know what to do. You just know that you can attract money. You heard that you can attract money, and you know that you can attract money. You're gonna attract money. So I just want to tell you, you're going to attract money, man. Like you're really going to attract money. Like seriously. So I'm gonna tell you how I manifested $10,000, okay? And I'm gonna tell you also on how I manifested a few other things, okay? So I need you to stay tuned to this video. I got some very important stuff I want to tell. Very important stuff I want. I was actually even debating on whether or not I should tell you this stuff. I was out shooting basketball today. Like I'm out there just shooting jumpers and stuff and just bricking and just like by myself playing basketball. I'm just like, you know what, like, man, I don't even know if I should tell them this because I don't want to ruin nobody's law of attraction, like lifestyle. I don't want to ruin nobody's lifestyle. And then I just said to myself after I shot my last shot before I went in the house, I was like, you know what? To hell with it. I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and tell them. I'm just gonna go ahead and tell them. So I'm gonna tell you how I manifested $10,000, and you can do the same thing too if you just listen to my story. And it should be easy for you to get the money that you want after this video. You won't have no more problems on how to make money ever again after this video. This is how easy it's gonna be to understand what I'm about to tell you. So, but first, let me tell you how I grew up and and how I came about using the law of attraction. Once upon a time, I used to be just like an average guy. I didn't know anything about this law of attraction, manifestation stuff, secret stuff, subconscious mind. Like if somebody would have came to me and started talking to me about that type of stuff, I would have looked at them like, huh? Like what the heck? What? Huh? Who? What? Huh? Conscious mind? What? Your brain? What's a brain? Like you know what? I would have just looked at them crazy, like like I don't know what you're talking about. But I grew up Christian. Like I grew up as a Christian. Like I grew up in the church. My mama made sure that I went to church all the time, throughout all the days of the week. If you went to church like me, like a Baptist church, you had to go every day of the week. Choir, you had to go to your mama choir practice. You had to go to Bible study. You had to go to, the cookout on Saturday. Then you had to turn around and go to church on Sunday. Like, you know what I'm saying? Every day. You know what I mean? And so I grew up in the church a lot. And, I grew up in church for years. And shout out to Jasmine Black too, who inspired me to make this video. Shout out to Jasmine Black. I just thought about you, Jasmine. But and so you know, I was always the person in church that was like listening to the message. I was like a little kid in church that was listening to the message. I was like actually paying attention to the message. I don't know why, but like I said, it was always something like in spiritual stuff that like made me want to be like interested, and I loved it, but I really didn't understand it. Like, I really didn't. The more I got older and I started to like read the Bible and stuff like that, I understood like some of the Bible, but at the end of the day, I had so many questions, and I'm just like, how can I have questions about something that I've been studying like all my life growing up? You know what I'm saying? So, it never really connected with me. Like it never really connected with my soul the way I was desiring for, it to. You understand? Like I don't know how to explain it, but like I was wanting, like when I was learning about God and going to church and being a Christian, like it always felt like, I was walking on eggshells when I was living that life. It's like everything that if I did something bad, I felt like, the creator of the universe was gonna punish me or something. And it was just like a struggle, like it was just like an ongoing struggle in a battle, like within myself to like not do something bad. And I was like trying so hard to not do something bad. And so I was like really, really frustrated. And so all this ended when I went to college, and I made it to college. Yeah, I actually made it to college. I went to college and I got out there on my own and I started doing things on my own. Now, this is when the law of attraction really kind of like started to work and I didn't know about it. So I got out in college on my own, And I started to experience life on my own. No parents around. Some of y'all know how it is. And I kind of left the whole religious stuff like back at home. And I just started wilding out, man. I just started wilding out. Let me hold on, let me cut this light on before it get too dark in here. But I just started wilding out and whatnot. And so that's when I really started to, see life in a totally different perspective, But I just want to tell you this, like the law of attraction is always working. It's always working. Like it was always working, even when I like was in college. Like even when I was in college and going to school in college, like, it was always working. But I did not know. I did not know that the law of attraction was working. And so this got a lot to do with that $10,000 I'm gonna tell you that I manifested and whatnot. And so after college, when I got out of college and then I went back home, I was still kind of lost. I was confused. It seemed like everything was tumbling down on me. Wasn't nothing going right for me. And I just, I had to like soul search, man. I had to like dig in books or whatever. Like I was reading hella books, like so many different books. And I'm gonna give these books away at the end of this video, so stay tuned. And I was just trying to, read more inspirational books on, how to better myself and such and so forth. And so, when I moved back home from college, that's like when I really found myself. Like I found myself. Like I had this revelation that just hit me one day, and it was just like, I know. I didn't know what I knew, but it's like I knew something. I knew something. Like I knew something. Like I was reading inspirational book after inspirational book after inspirational book after inspirational book. And it's like I got to this point on the top of the mountain where I was just like, okay, enough is enough. I know exactly what I need to do now. I don't know how I got there. I guess I was just hungry for it. I just wanted it really, really bad to like change my life and to start like doing something that like actually really like connected with my soul versus like going to church and stuff like that, because I wasn't really feeling it like that. I wasn't connecting with it like that, that's just me. And so when I found out when I got the idea that, I know exactly what it is that I need to do, that's when I started searching the web on the internet and stuff and trying to find out more information. You know how you go to the web and you be looking up stuff on YouTube on like stuff that pertains to you at the moment and how you feeling. And I started doing that. And I came across what they call The Secret. I came across this little, I don't know, it was like this S with this little print thing, and I'm just said secret, and I'm just like, And it drew me in because it was like secret, and I'm just like, okay. I clicked it and I watched it, and I'm just looking at it like in awe, like, oh my God, like that is so cool. Like, you mean to tell me like if I just think something with my mind, like in my brain, like then it will create things for me? Like I'm like, damn, it's like I knew something. I knew I was doing something like that, growing up, but I didn't know exactly what to call it or what it was. And so after, I watched The Secret movie on YouTube, that's when I went out and like bought the actual book. And I'm investigating things, making sure what they put on YouTube is legit, because it be a lot of people putting stuff on YouTube that ain't really real stuff. They be making up stuff. So you got to do your investigations, and your proclamations and your declarations of independence. And so I went and got the book and I read the book. I'm like, okay, so it's hand to hand. It makes perfect sense. And listen, y'all, after that, that's when my life did a 360. I will never forget it. I had finally found something that connected with me. Like I can't explain it. I can't. Maybe you can relate to this, but it connected with me. The law of attraction connected with me on a level that nothing has ever connected with me before in my whole entire life. I mean, I like the whole simple concept that I have created my own reality, and I can still continuously create my own reality. And I'm like, I'm crazy. It's crazy that somebody, actually put this out here for other people to like come across, because I've been thinking like this the whole time. I've just been, I guess I've been following everybody else and doing what everybody else did, And so, after I had like went on this frenzy of like learning all this information, just like they said you would do in The Secret in the law of attraction, like I went through this frenzy of like learning information, just learning stuff, reading books, man. You couldn't stop me from going to the library and getting new books. I stayed in the psychology section. That was my favorite psychology section when I moved back home, and I went on this frenzy for learning and knowledge. I stayed in the psychology section, specifically cognitive psychology. I loved it. I looked up stuff on biology. I loved it. I looked up animalology. Is that something? Animalology? Like when you study animal? Man, I was looking up everything, man. The librarians used to love me because I'm pretty sure they were nerds. And so I went in there and I guess, it's just different to see a young guy to go in the library every day trying to check out books. But I was on like a mission. I was on like a mission for like, just soul searching. Like, I don't think nobody really understood it in the library, like the librarians to see me coming out. I was on a mission, man. I was trying to change my life. Like, I just wanted the best things in life, and I didn't know how to get them. Because at the time, I was staying with like one of my cousins, right? And I was staying in like his extra room, and only thing I had was like I had a bed. My room was so small, like it was small, just like this little area right here. I'm not lying. My room was so small. I had a bed, and then beside me was like my closet. It's crazy because the closet was like beside me like this. My bed was right here, and it was a window like right there when you're looking at it. It was a window. This was my bed. And I used to like just lay down in that bed, and the only thing I had was like my cell phone and books. And I had a TV that sat in front of me like right there, a little flat screen TV that sat on the wall. That's all I had was my little TV, my closet that was beside me, my closet, a window right here, and then I had my books stacked up on my dresser, which was in the corner of my room. Like it was a much smaller dresser than this, but it was in the corner of my room, and that's all I had. And like the door to exit my room was like right there, like if the camera could right here, that's the door to exit my room. So it was like I was in a little cage or something, and the only thing I had was like my cell phone. And so it dawned on me one day, and I was just trying to find out something I could do. I had learned all this knowledge or whatever, and I was just like, what can I do? And man, I was just asking God, like, I was just like, God, I need something to do. Like, I need something to do that, I prayed, man. I prayed and prayed and prayed and prayed and prayed and prayed like every day. Every day. I remember I prayed so much to the point that it was like I didn't have nothing to do with my life, that I like started crying. Like I was crying. When people wasn't around, I was going crazy. I was beating on walls. I was doing crazy stuff because I was really trying to find out like my purpose in life and stuff. And I didn't know, what God wanted me to do with my life or what I was created for. And so like the more I did that, and I guess my prayer got answered, And so after I prayed a whole lot, that's when it dawned on me. It was like, I had a cell phone. I'm just like, damn, I'm like, I can use my cell phone to make videos. Yeah, how about that? How about I can just tell people all the stuff I just learned, since the secret law of attraction just had me learn everything that I already knew, but I had to like relearn it. And let me just tell people this stuff that I learned. And then that's what I started doing. I like started making freaking videos like on my cell phone. Like, and I had like a flip phone at the time. And this was 3 years ago. I've been doing YouTube going on 3 years. And this was like 3 years ago, and I'm in like what 977 videos now. I'm almost at 1,000. So yeah, this is about 3 years ago. And so that's when it started. That's when it started. But I want to tell you this. Like, I want to tell you some stories. I'm going to tell you how I manifested the $10,000 too. Stay tuned. Because I want to tell you the whole thing about manifestation. Because you might not think manifestation works the way you want it to work. But it do, folks. It do. And this is a super chat. So if you want to give a super chat, go ahead. But manifestation works better than what you think it do. I can tell you that right now. So if you want money, you're gonna get the money and everything that you want, but just stay tuned. So I had this life coach, maybe like 3 years ago, right? And she used to always call me, and she used to always help me, with stuff and talk to me about metaphysics and knowledge and the law of attraction. And I can remember like she had a family, and she was going through some problems with her husband, and her and her husband were going through like this divorce, right? I was like a little younger at the time, so I didn't really necessarily understand the whole gratitude of a divorce. I was yet to even be married. Like, I wasn't married then. I was just still like messing around with people. And so when she was telling me she was going through her little trials and tribulations with her husband or whatever while she was talking to me, you know, as somebody who she was helping, you know, one thing that she told me that I will never, ever, ever forget, and I didn't understand it then, but I understand it right now when I'm watching this video, and I want you to understand it too. One thing that she said was, Trenius, when you are manifesting things into your life, be very specific as to what you want to manifest. She was like, because I prayed to have a family. She had, what, 4 kids and a husband. She was like, I prayed for this. She had a big house and everything. I'm pretty sure they had more than 1 car. And I'm pretty sure they lived in a very expensive neighborhood because she was like a doctor. She was like a PhD type doctor woman or whatever. And she was like, be careful of how you manifest. Make sure that you're very specific in the things that you manifest. Because she was like, if I could like turn back the hands of time and I could go back and like re-manifest what I have now, I would have been more specific, you know, with the guy that I chose. You know what I'm saying? And she was just like really serious. Like, but like I said, at the time, I didn't know, you know, what she meant because my mind had not got up to that level yet of understanding on the journey of law of attraction. But she's serious. Like, you know, you got to be careful for what you want to manifest. You got to be careful for what you want to manifest. And so I want to tell you this too. So the other night there was a $1.6 billion lottery jackpot. Y'all remember that? If you're not tuned in and subscribe to my channel, you probably don't know. But last night there was a $1.6 billion jackpot. Now, for those of you who have been tuned in and subscribed to me, you probably remember this. But right over here, I'm gonna show you this. Listen to this. Look at this right here. So right over here, I got this affirmation. Can you see it? What did it say? Can you see it? It says, I have $1 billion. I think my lights is too bright. Hold on for a second. Let me turn this light off. You see it? It says, I have $1 billion, right? Now, I've been having that affirmation up around my home for like 4 months now. I got it on my door. People notice it when they come in here and visit. I got it on my wall. I got it on my ceiling. I got it in my car. I got it on my computer, written on my computer. I have $1 billion. I have 1 billion subscribers. I got all that written around here. And so the other day, this $1.6 billion lottery came up out of the middle of nowhere. I don't watch the news. I don't be watching the news. I don't know what be going on in the news and stuff like that. I didn't even know they had a lottery that would, you know, except when my friends started talking about it. And I'm just like, well, dang, you know, I should get a ticket. But at the time, I didn't even realize, you know, I forgot about my affirmations in here. You know, I forgot about my affirmations and how I had been trying to manifest this $1 billion, right? Now, this is the first time in history that the lottery Mega Million jackpot had ever came to $1 billion, folks. First time ever, right? But in my little world in here in my apartment, I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, well, I do have the affirmation, I want $1 billion, but I'm not trying to think of how it comes. Because when you're using the law of attraction, the whole objective is to just put the say the affirmations, put the intention out there, but don't worry about how it comes. Don't worry about how it comes, right? And so all of a sudden, the other day, we was playing this $1.6 billion jackpot. Now, I didn't go buy no ticket. I didn't go buy no ticket until then. I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you what happened. I didn't buy no ticket because I didn't have no cash on me that day. I didn't have no cash on me that day that everybody was buying the tickets, and that day was the last day. Remember, I got on here and I was like, you know, 10 o'clock or it's the last day, cutoff time for you to buy a ticket. Okay, that day, I didn't plan on buying no ticket. It just so happened that I went to get me something to eat, and then there was a store behind the restaurant that I went to get me something to eat from, and it's something that said to my intuition, go get a lottery ticket. And I'm saying to myself, well, you can't get a lottery ticket not unless it's cash, you know. And so I didn't have any cash on me, and I was like, what the hell, you know? Okay, I'm gonna go down there to the store, and I'm just gonna go get me an incense. I'm gonna go get me an incense because I like to burn incense in my home or whatever. And so I went to the store, and I went up to the register with my incense, right? Listen, this is how law of attraction works, and this is how you're going to be able to manifest your money. Just listen close, folks. Listen close, and get this video a thumbs up if you're in here. But anyway, so I went to the register, and I got my incense. And I told the cashier, I say, listen, let me get a Mega Millions jackpot ticket too. And See, in my mind, I'm already thinking, I'm like, okay, I know I have to have cash. I'm gonna just see what he gonna say. I'm just gonna see if he gonna sell me a ticket anyway. And then he was like, okay, only debit and cash, only debit and cash. I'm like, okay, so you mean to tell me only debit and cash for me to get the instant plus my ticket? He was like, yes, yes. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, okay, intuition, you did tell me to come down here and try to get me a ticket. And so I got my ticket that day. I got my ticket. Now, when I got that ticket, I tried not to look at it, but I had to take a sneak peek. When I looked at the Powerball number at the end, the big number, guess what it was? It was 18. For those of you who don't know, my birthday is December the 18th. Okay? Now, this is when the universal law of attraction started really talking to me. It started really talking to me. And then it's when I started getting a little paranoid, kind of like, kind of feeling a little funny, because I'm like, oh, hold on now, hold on. Like, I started to like have a little flashbacks and stuff. Like, it's like the universe began to start talking to me. Now, I hate to spoil you if you're watching this video and you was playing too, all right? Okay, I'm just gonna keep it real right now. But anyway, so I came home, I made that video, but don't y'all know, like, when I made that video before the actual numbers came out, I was scared as hell. I was scared because I knew I had a winning ticket, and I knew I had manifested this winning ticket, and I was scared that I was gonna win. Now, this is a catch. This is the catch when it comes to law of attraction. The reason why I didn't win, or the reason why you didn't win, or, if you even play lottery or scratch-offs, the reason why most people didn't win that day is because they feared when the manifestation came, they feared it. Now, that's a key understanding that you must have when it comes down to attracting money. Not 10 times out of 10, folks, you're going to get the money that you want to manifest, but you got to be careful for what you're asking for. You got to be very specific in how you ask for money, folks, because it's going to come. Now, this is what I really want to tell you before I tell you this next story, these next two stories, and I tell you how I manifested that $10,000. Now, like, a lot of people might say, I want $100,000. Some people say, I want $200,000, $300,000. But do you ever ask yourself, how do you want the universe to, like, give it to you? Because the universe don't know no better. God don't have no favorites. The universe don't see black and white like we do, racism and stuff like that, girl and boy. The universe don't see the craziness that we see with our worldly eyes. The universe just hear your command, you ask, and if you believe, then you receive. It's as simple as that. That's how the universe understands what you want to manifest. Now, how it comes, it's totally up to you. That's why that person I was telling you that I talked to in the past, that was telling me to be specific about what I want to manifest. That's why she said what she said. Because if you're not specific in manifesting, let's say $10,000 or $11,000, you could go out and get into a car accident where, you hurt your leg, and then you get a settlement for $11,000 or $12,000. The universe just gave you what you asked for. You know what I mean? Or you can get into, your house, a tree could fall on your house on top of your family. You talking about you wanted $100,000, right? And then, the tree fell on, Lord forbid that this happened. The tree fell on one of the persons in your family, and you got the wheel money, and it was over like almost $100,000. You see what I'm saying? You gotta be careful for how you ask for money, folks, because the universe don't know no better. The universe is a big dummy, but it will spoil you at the same time. You're gonna get the money, but you gotta be sure as to telling the universe how you want to receive that money, because it's gonna do it in a way that you probably you don't even want to receive it. You don't even want to receive the money in the way that you probably got in mind, that the universe has in mind. The universe is gonna give you the money, whether negative or positive. But if you want the money in a positive way, through health, peace, happiness, being whole, you got to make sure that you say that. This is how I want to receive the money, universe. I want to give me the energy so that I can work hard to receive $1 million. Give me the money so I can work hard to receive $1 million. please give me the energy. Please, please, please. You know, don't put me in some bad situation to where, you know, I have to like suffer everything that I lost and then inherit $1,000,000, and that be the way that I manifest $1,000,000. You gotta be careful. That's why they say be careful for what you wish for, folks. So like once again, if you're in here, if you're watching this video, you like to give the video a thumbs up. But anyway, I'm gonna tell you this other story on how the universal laws work and how law of attraction work before I tell you how I manifested this $10,000. So y'all heard me say the story yesterday on how like I manifested a record deal. Okay, so like when I was going to school, I always wanted to be a music artist. When I was back in high school, I wanted to be a music artist. You know, when I went to college, that's all my mama would tell you. All I ever did was make beats and do music in my room after school. I loved it. It was my passion. I loved it. I loafed in it. I slept in it. I had lyrics in my book bag going to school. I ain't had no books. I had lyrics. I was writing lyrics in class when the teacher was teaching. I didn't care. I loved it. And so when I finally got to college, after all them years of like being into music and loving music, you know, I didn't know nothing about the law of attraction back then. I didn't know nothing about how to manifest things back then. But when I got to college, you know, and I started going to college for like audio and video production, which I still do now. My whole objective was to try to do music when I was in college, right? Okay, so I just so happened to be on the internet one day, and I send this email to this record label just out of, you know, curiosity to see if they would hit me back, you know, just to take a risk to see if they would do something special. They actually hit me back. And then I found myself in front of the desk of the general manager of a record label. Now, see, I was so slow and so young and dumb back then that I didn't even realize what I had did. I didn't know nothing about the law of attraction. I wasn't even as smart as I am right now. I could never teach nobody on here like I do and talk like this on YouTube or nothing like that. I was just so young and naive. You know what I'm saying? And so I ended up being in front of this person who was big time in the record label who had sent me the email, but I just like went in there. I was like, somebody sent me an email. Oh, I'm going up in there tomorrow. Yeah, I caught the bus, you know, and I went up there, had my little CD on me and stuff. I'm like, yeah, I'm a big dog. I'm a big dog. And I'm sitting in front of the desk, cool with this person, like, yeah, what's up? You know what I'm saying? What's up? You know, but the person that I was telling you about yesterday in the video, if you ain't watching, the general manager told me, where do I see myself in the next 5 years? And after I could not answer that question, she kicked me out. She kicked me out. So I'm saying that all to say this. I manifested a record deal. You see what I'm saying? I manifested having a record deal when I didn't even realize I was manifesting it all through the years in school when I was writing music, when in college, when I was still loving music. I had manifested an opportunity of a lifetime. So that's the same thing that's happening to you right now. The same thing that's happening is you're manifesting opportunities of a lifetime. But you got to be aware because they're going to come. Everything that you want is going to come. All the money you want is going to come, baby. Trust and believe it's going to come. But you got to keep in mind, you got to be real specific as to how you want to receive it, because you're going to just receive it any kind of way, and you don't want to be getting messed up and tore up and busted and disgusted and stuff and then inherit the money and then receive the money. You know, so, you know, how I manifested $10,000. Well, like I said, back when I was, you know, using my cell phone 3 years ago to start recording videos for YouTube videos, I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know what I was doing, but I kept doing it because I started to see more and more people started to like take part in like what I was saying. And so, you know, up until this point, it's 2018. That was like the end of 2015, you know, when I started recording videos. And like right now I have at least 5 different ways of income, right? And so it's like the other day, you know, I always get statements in the mail, like from PayPal. I get Cash App statements through my email. You know, I get Google ads, checks and stuff like that. I get statements from them. You know, and then all the other little outside extracurricular work that I do, I get paid from that. And then the donations that you make, like you've been making here on Super Chat, people that give me Super Chats before thanking me for all the knowledge that I help you with on a day-to-day basis, I get money from that. And so I just doing my calculations. I was just doing my calculations like last week, yo, and I've made like $10,000. I've made like $10,000 doing something that I cried out to God in the universe for like 3 years ago, and it manifested. And here I am today. Once upon a time, I used to be like in a small little cage room making videos on my cell phone with no views, no traffic, no subscribers, no live, no nothing, nothing at all. Just doing it because I like to talk and run my mouth like I'm doing right now. Same thing I'm doing when I was in that small room. Now I'm not in the small room no more. I'm in my own home now. You know, and I manifested that. I manifested $10,000. Looking back on all that time, I've manifested 10 G's, bro. Like, I looked it up, and I just did the math yesterday. I was calculating all my statements that I got from all my avenues of income, and it came to like 10,000 and like $100 something. And I'm just like, dang. I'm like, dang, man. But the funny thing about it, though, is that I be spending the money. Like, I be spending the money, and you know, I came from nothing. Like, I came from nothing. So it's like when I get that money, it's like I spend it. But, you know, for the most part, I do put it back into the Infamous Living Room Network. But I do have a lot of fun too, and I gotta cut back on that. I know I'm getting better. You know, I'm like I'm like Ebony. That's one of my karmatic depths right there. Like path number 11. And so yeah, so that's how I manifested $10,000. Now, once again, I asked the universe for this 3 years ago. I asked the universe, can you give me something that I could use to be bigger than what I am now, that pertains to like my gift and my talent? And this is it. This is it, right? And the universe did it. I didn't know I would be, I thought I was going to be a music artist or something like that. You know, I thought I was going to be like a painter or something. You know, I was really good at painting. But this is it. And I asked for that 3 years ago. Now, I told you what the record label lady told me. She said, where you see yourself in the next 5 years? She was telling another secret. See, this stuff happens in increments, folks, in increments. It might not happen overnight. It might not happen tomorrow. It might not happen next month. But the more you continue to continuously believe in the money that you want to receive, it's going to come. It's going to come. Now, be very, very careful and very specific as to how you want the money to come. Because if you don't, folks, if you don't, you're gonna something bad is destined to happen most of the time. Because the universe love to use negatives now. There's something about the negatives that the universe likes. I mean, the universe uses positive things to bless you too and to give you all the money that you want. But the universe loves the negative shit too. You know, and that's just the truth of the reality of the situation. This is the world of duality and polarity. So you got to make sure that you are trying to manifest money in a positive way, and that you get more specific as to how you want to manifest money and how you want to attract money, folks. This is a law of attraction. Thank you so much for tuning in, folks. If you are tuning into this video and you like to give this video a thumbs up. So this is how I manifested $10,000, and this is how I manifested a lot of other things too. So I hope this video resonated with you. If you're feeling down and out and you're trying to attract more money into your life, it's going to come. I'm just going to tell you now, it's going to come. It's going to come, okay? Just be ready to receive it when it comes. You can't be scared to receive $100,000 or $1 million when it comes. You got to be ready. You have to be ready, because that energy that's going to come upon you when you in that position to receive that cash or whatever it is that you want to manifest, it's going to hit you like a bag of bricks. And you got to be able to just suck it up and just take it and go forward. If not, the blessing going to go and be somebody else's blessing. Like that story, Esau and Jacob. Well, I think Esau stole Jacob's blessing. Y'all know that story? Look it up in the Bible. I think Esau stole Jacob's blessing because Jacob wasn't ready for it. Why? Because the universe don't have no favorites. The universe just hears your command, and then it sees how you feel. And if you feel according to the vibration of the thing that you want, you're gonna get it. It's as simple as that, folks. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Trenius Henderson. Make sure you subscribe over here in the bottom right-hand corner and click that bell notification if you want to be updated with new videos every 24 hours. Rim team, everybody out there, make sure you share this video so you can add to your universal bank account. If you share, each one is teach one, folks. If you get this video out to somebody, it's going to come back to you full force in the universe. Trust and believe. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.